mid-March of this year I moved to Japan, and the story of the run-up to coming to Japan is a story in itself really, with all of the problems to do with the air travel, the borders and all the other stresses, which I will publish as a video in its own right. But this was a 2-year journey to get even this far, and the plan is to at least spend a few years in Japan, at very least 1 year, but I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it so much I'm going to be here for quite a while. My flight departed from London Heathrow and had one connection at Bangkok, which then took me on to Narita International Airport outside of Tokyo. By the skin of my teeth I had made it to Japan before my work visa was made temporarily invalid. It would have only taken one connection to have gone wrong, a slight delay here, and 2 years worth of hard work would have been down the pan and I would have been finding my way back to London. However, it didn't turn out that way and I was soon travelling into Tokyo on the Keisei line from the airport. The journey was pretty easy actually, despite the baggage, and pretty similar to London Underground and Overground service if anything, and I did get a lot of help with my baggage from many Japanese people, so there's many thanks to be given there. I made my decision to stay in Nerima, one of Tokyo's wards. The reasons were based on 3 factors: its interest to me, its proximity to the main sites, and the affordability. Nerima, for those unaware, is a real hub of the anime industry. The modern era of anime can be traced back to 1958 with Toei Animation's Shakujii. Toei is still based in Nerima, and likewise Mushi Productions with their Astro Boy series, as well as many of their other productions, remains in the area. Not only is Nerima a hotbed of anime production, it's also the setting for many classic manga and anime series, such as Ranma 1/2, Urusei Yatsura, and some even say that Doraemon comes from Nerima. The other reason for staying here is that I wanted to stay in a relatively quiet area which was peaceful to return to, but not too far away from the main sites of Tokyo, and Toshimaen, a small district just to the north of Nerima's main station, was just the perfect setting. Close to Shakujii River, the Airbnb hosts that I stayed with were just fabulous and making it feel so welcome and making my first week in Tokyo just so memorable. On my first day, even though I was even jet lagged, I managed to visit a local shrine and threw in some yen just to give a little thanks to whatever it was that saw me safely into Japan under the circumstances. On my second day, I took a visit to Shakujii, a beautiful park in Nerima where the Sakura was just becoming at its best. A beautiful 23°C day was just the antidote to the stressful journey I had just endured and a very dark, wet United Kingdom that I had left behind on the Thursday. It really is truly beautiful, with boating on the lake, amazing views of the Sakura over the natural landscape, as well as plenty of shrines. It's also occasionally the backdrop to some of the antics in Ranma 1/2. I didn't however spot Ranma and Yoga fighting in the park or indeed a duck-type moose on the lakes, but maybe I didn't look hard enough. Surrounding Shakujii is the Shakujii River and some residential streets that begin to look a lot like some of the settings in Urusei Yatsura, as well as Ranma 1/2. It also includes the very street that some months ago I drew as a piece of pixel art on my Commodore Amiga computer. It was rather surreal to stand on a street which I'd only viewed from afar 5,500 miles away before now. Staying local for my next day, I took the train one further stop to Oizumi Gakuen, where there is a tribute to the local anime industry known as the Oizumi Anime Gate, with bronze busts of Astro Boy, Lum Invader, as well as many others. There are also annotation boards paying homage not just to the anime created in Nerima, but also those set in Nerima. Sadly, the Toei Animation Museum was closed due to the coronavirus situation, but I'll be in Tokyo again one day to be able to visit this little exhibit here. A little further down the road, I found the Shakujii River once again and found some further river sidewalks that look almost identical to those depicted in Ranma 1.5. I really did expect to see Akane and Ranma running to school, or Yoga pitched up in one of the vacant lots on holiday mistaking it for Okinawa or something like that. Venturing a bit further from my last few days in Tokyo, I headed into Shibuya for a full day in the town, viewing the amazing Meiji Jingu set in the most amazing park, with trees as tall as your imagination can conceive, a real antidote to the busy subway and railways surrounding it. I also took a diversion into Kitazawa. Why such a relatively obscure destination? Well, it was close to Shinjuku, and there was a particular sign on top of a shop that had never been taken down. You don't see many of these Commodore Amiga dealer signs anymore. However, Kitazawa turned out to be a real gem of a neighbourhood, with quiet streets, beautiful shrines and temples, with shades of Pocky and Rocky coming to mind. It was a very pleasant vibe, and I aim to come back if not just for the sign or the Aomori apple pie I enjoyed here. Later that evening I went to the riverside to photograph the blossoms at night. Sadly it was only partially lit, but still very beautiful to see. The amazing Tokyo railway system made it cheap and easy to get around to such locations, and it was a beautiful evening just to see the river running by. My final full day in Tokyo came too soon. A beautiful bright sunny day where I enjoyed the Sakura in Ueno Park, a true sight to behold and a golden memory already. Whilst the majority was fenced off, there were some parts of Ueno Park that were available for people to enjoy their traditional picnics underneath the Sakura. Sadly, Ueno Park was closed only a day or two later to deter crowds due to the coronavirus situation. I was extremely fortunate to be able to see these sights, and I'm forever grateful for it. And then came my visit to Akihabara, or Akiba as it's affectionately known. Well known as the anime, manga and video gaming hotspot worldwide, it was really just to look rather than to buy. And I did have a look at a few of the stores, and it was definitely very enjoyable to look around. The prices weren't cheap though compared to some of the prices that you'll find in Japan, but generally cheaper than what you'll find in the UK. A good example would be, for example, looking in Super Potato, which is well worth a good look because literally you can find anything you want in here. However, Ranma 1/2 Chogi Rambuhen, it's the last fighting game that they made for the Super Nintendo, or Super Famicom as it is in Japan, was here for 2,000 yen unboxed. However, a couple of days later I bought it in Sendai, complete in box, yes, with manual, all the inserts and so forth, for just 300 yen. So there you go. It just goes to show, Akihabara is definitely worth the look, but just think twice before you splash out the cash. Alas, eventually it was time to say goodbye to Nerima with a heavy heart, and Tokyo as well at the same time. Another beautiful blue and cloudless day awaited me, and it was onwards to Sendai that we found myself on a Shinkansen speeding at 200 miles an hour northwards. It was all part of my eventual move, which has found me setting up in Miyako and Iwate Prefecture. But more on the story that's to come in a future video. You've enjoyed this video. It's certain that Japan has really charmed me with my first week, and those memories will forever remain with me. Wonderful to visit these places, and I'm holding on to those memories with a very fond heart already. And I guess that all remains for me to say is matinee. I'd just like to mention that I'm now on Patreon, where from as little as $2 per month, you can help support my artwork that I aim to create in Japan, and the tutorials and all the exciting animation tips, pixel art tips, watercolour, and even manga tips that I wish to give to you whilst I'm here. You'll also receive early access to content, videos that are not available to the general public, artwork through the post, and much more besides, depending on the tier that you join. To find out more, why not follow the links in the video description now? And I'd like to make a very special thanks to my Patreons, Peter47A, Anthony Jarvis, Chris Forrester, David Gaxiola, Error42, Phil Cobley, Rushi MSX, 10 Minute Amiga Retrocast, Dave Rowland, Merlin Katamari, Joss Stati, Rob Soft, Brave Jumper, and all of my $2 patrons. Your support means a lot to me, and I'll be forever grateful. Thank you.